My twin took credit for the organ donation that saved our dad's life, so I let her have the spotlight until he woke up and asked for me. I'm 31, and my identical twin sister Riley has always been the golden child. Not because she worked harder or was kinder, just because she knew how to perform for our parents. When dad's kidneys failed last year, the doctors said he had maybe 6 months without a transplant. I got tested immediately. Perfect match. Riley refused, claiming she had career obligations and couldn't risk the recovery time. I donated my kidney. The surgery was brutal. 12 hours, 3 weeks of recovery, a scar across my abdomen I'll carry forever. But here's where it gets twisted. While I was still in the hospital recovering, Riley posted on social media about our family's journey and the sacrifice we made. She never said she times donated, but she worded everything carefully. Photos of her holding dad's hand, captions about giving a piece of myself to save him. Our extended family assumed it was her. Cousins commented, "Riley, you're a hero." Aunts shared her posts. Even dad's friends sent her gift baskets. I was too exhausted to correct anyone. I figured the truth would come out eventually. It didn't. At dad's welcome home party 2 months later, Riley gave this tearful speech about her sacrifice and how some things matter more than your own body. She got a standing ovation. I sat in the back, scar still tender, watching her accept praise for my times organ. Mom pulled me aside after and whispered, "Please don't make this about you. Your sister needs this confidence boost for her new job." I almost laughed. Last week, dad had a follow-up appointment. Standard check-in, but he wanted family there. Riley couldn't make it client meeting. I went. The doctor reviewed his charts and said, "Your daughter's kidney is functioning beautifully. She saved your life." Dad looked confused. "Riley couldn't come today." The doctor glanced at his file. "No, sir. The donor was." He checked the paperwork. "Your other daughter." Dad went pale. "What?" I didn't say anything. I just pulled up my shirt and showed him the scar. He stared at it for a long time. Then he looked at me. "You? This whole time?" I nodded. "And Riley?" "Riley didn't donate. She refused the test." His hands started shaking. "But the posts, everyone thinks." "I know. Why didn't you tell me?" "I figured you knew, or that it didn't matter who did it, as long as you were okay." Dad didn't speak the entire drive home. That night, he called a family meeting. Riley showed up late, still in her work blazer, looking annoyed. Dad didn't waste time. He stood up, looked directly at Riley, and said, "Why did you let everyone believe you saved my life?" Riley's face went white. "Dad, she showed me the scar today. The Times, real Times donor." The room went silent. Mom tried to interject, "This isn't the time," but Dad cut her off. "You didn't even get Times tested, Riley. You said you were too busy." Riley's voice cracked. "I was scared, okay? I didn't know if I could handle it." "So, you let your sister go through it alone and then took credit for it?" She started crying. "I didn't mean times for it to happen. People just assumed, and I didn't correct them because I thought it didn't matter." "Didn't times matter, asterisk?" Dad turned to me. "How long were you in the hospital?" 3 weeks. "And I never visited you because I thought you were just there for moral support." I didn't respond. What was there to say? He looked back at Riley. "Get out, Dad. Get times out, times of my house." Riley left sobbing. Mom followed her. Dad sat down next to me, staring at his hands. "I don't know how to fix this." "You can't," I said, "but you can stop letting her rewrite history." He nodded slowly. "I'm sorry. I know." The next day, Dad posted on Facebook a simple post. "I want to publicly thank my daughter for donating her kidney and saving my life. I'm sorry it took me this long to say it." He tagged me, not Riley. The comments exploded. Family members who'd praised Riley suddenly went quiet. A few deleted their old comments on her posts. Others messaged me privately with apologies. Riley called me 17 times that day. I didn't answer. But Dad changed his will last week. Riley's not getting the house anymore. I am.
My sister's son screamed that I ruined his life by getting his mom arrested. He never knew she confessed to framing me first. I was 19 when my sister Maya accused me of stealing $15,000 from our dying grandmother's account. She had bank statements, timestamps, everything. The transactions happened from my laptop, using passwords only I knew. My entire family cut me off instantly. My parents wouldn't even look at me at the emergency family meeting. Maya sat there crying, holding grandmother's hand, playing the devastated daughter perfectly. She had printed emails where I supposedly asked grandmother for money. She had text message screenshots. The evidence was overwhelming. I tried explaining I never sent those messages, never made those transfers. But Maya kept interrupting, voice breaking. "How could you steal from your own dying grandmother? She trusted you. We all trusted you. My father told me to leave and never contact the family again. I lost my college fund that grandmother had set up for me. Lost my apartment because my parents were co-signers and pulled out. My girlfriend at the time, Jennifer, broke up with me 3 days later after her parents saw the Facebook posts about what I'd done. For 6 years, I worked 3 jobs just to survive. Morning shift at a warehouse, afternoons at a coffee shop, weekends doing Uber. I lived in a studio apartment that smelled like mildew and had cockroaches I couldn't afford to exterminate properly. Maya got grandmother's house after she passed. Got her car, her jewelry, her savings, everything. She'd post family dinners on Facebook every Sunday. Mom, Dad, our younger brother Tommy, Maya's husband Derek Sr., and their son Derek Jr., everyone there except me. The comments were always the same. Beautiful family. So blessed. Nobody ever asked where I was. I stopped trying to prove my innocence after the first year. What was the point? They'd made up their minds. I was the thief, the disappointment, the one who stole from a dying woman. Then last month, Maya's 6-year-old son Derek showed up at my door crying. I almost didn't recognize him. Last time I saw him, he was 10 years old at grandmother's funeral. He wouldn't even look at me then. "Mom's going to jail," he said, tears streaming down his face. "The police arrested her this morning. This is all your fault. You ruined everything." I had no idea what he was talking about. I invited him inside, made him sit down, got him some water. When he finally calmed down enough to talk, the story came out. Turns out, Maya's husband found found her real bank records hidden in their attic. He'd been looking for old tax documents and discovered a locked metal box behind the insulation. Inside were grandmother's actual bank statements, showing systematic withdrawals over 2 years. Maya had been the one stealing, slowly draining the account long before I was even accused. When grandmother started getting suspicious and asking questions, Maya panicked. She created fake statements, faked emails from my account, set up the whole frame using my laptop when I left it at her house one weekend. Dad confronted her, Derek said, his voice hollow. She tried denying it, but he had everything. Grandmother's real statements, receipts for things she bought with the stolen money, a whole second credit card we didn't know about. But here's the part Derek didn't know, the part that made my blood run cold. Before the police came, Maya confessed everything to her husband in their kitchen. He was so angry he recorded the conversation on his phone without telling her. She admitted on that recording that she had to sacrifice someone and I was the easiest target because I just turned 18, had access to grandmother's accounts, and wouldn't be able to prove anything anyway. She wasn't sorry. She was just trying to negotiate, trying to figure out if her husband would help her cover it up better this time. He went straight to the police with everything. Derek was sobbing now, his whole body shaking. We lost the house. Dad's leaving. He filed for divorce yesterday. Everyone in our family hates us now. Grandma and Grandpa won't talk to Mom. Uncle Tommy called her a monster. All my friends know. I had to switch schools because everyone was talking about it. I looked at this kid who'd grown up thinking I was a thief, who'd spent 6 years at family dinners while I ate ramen alone in my cockroach apartment. Your mom made her choices, I said quietly. I spent 6 years paying for them. Now it's her turn.
Watching my boyfriend talk to the waitress made me realize he saves his best manners for strangers. We're at Olive Garden for our anniversary. Marcus ordered for both of us without asking what I wanted. When the waitress brings our food, he immediately notices she got his order wrong. His voice goes soft and polite. Hey, so sorry to bother you, but I think there's been a mix-up with my chicken. He's smiling, actually smiling at her. She apologizes profusely and he waves his hand. No worries at all. These things happen. Take your time. I'm sitting there stunned because 20 minutes earlier in the car, I asked if we could stop at Target on the way home to grab laundry detergent. He snapped at me. Why do you always have to add extra stops? Can't you just plan ahead for once? His tone was sharp, irritated, like I'd asked him to drive across the state. The waitress comes back with his correct plate, apologizing again. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you fixing that, he says warmly, making eye contact with her. She practically glows at his tone, telling him to enjoy his meal. I mentioned my pasta is cold, like actually cold. He doesn't even look up from his phone. Just eat it. We're not sending it back. That's it. No eye contact, no concern, just this flat dismissal. I watch him scroll through his phone while eating. He hasn't asked me one question tonight. Not about my day, not about the presentation I mentioned I was nervous about, nothing. We've been sitting here for 35 minutes and the only full sentences he's spoken were to the waitress. She comes by to refill our drinks. How's everything tasting? Marcus looks up immediately, that soft smile returning. Everything's perfect now. Thank you for checking. When she walks away, he goes right back to his phone. I'm invisible again. I try to start a conversation. My manager told me today I might get promoted. He makes this sound, half grunt, half acknowledgement, eyes still on his screen. That's cool. 2 words. That's all I get. Meanwhile, the waitress gets full paragraphs delivered with warmth and patience. When she brings the check, he studies it carefully, calls her over again with that same gentle voice. Hey, I think there might be a small error here. We ordered 2 entrees, but I'm seeing 3 charges. His tone is so understanding, so calm. She checks immediately, apologizing for the mistake. Don't even worry about it, he says. I just wanted to mention it. She thanks him for being so nice about it, says most customers would have been angry. He tips her 25%. I see him calculating it carefully, making sure it's generous. This is the same guy who complained last week when I spent $40 on groceries he'd eat too. Said I need to be more budget conscious. In the car, I'm quiet, processing. He asks what's wrong, but his tone is already annoyed. Why are you being weird? I don't answer immediately and he sighs dramatically. Great, here we go. I realize I can't remember the last time he used that patient, kind voice with me. The one he reserves for waitresses, customer service reps, his boss, the barista at Starbucks, random people at the gym, everyone except the person who's supposed to matter most. He interrupts my thoughts. Are you seriously mad about something? The way he says it, like I'm being unreasonable just for having feelings. I think about how carefully he chose his words with the waitress when pointing out the billing error, how gentle he was, how he made sure she knew he wasn't upset. I've never gotten that courtesy. When I make a mistake, he jumps straight to frustration. His tone is harsh, impatient. He doesn't soften anything. There's no, hey, so I noticed, or no worries, these things happen. Just immediate irritation that I've inconvenienced him. Nothing's wrong, I finally say. He nods, satisfied, turns up the music, doesn't push to actually understand, doesn't use that concerned, gentle voice he gave a complete stranger over a chicken order. That's when I understood I'd been getting the leftover version of him this whole time. The impatient, distracted, irritable version he'd never show to someone taking his order. Because apparently, I ranked below a waitress he'd never see again. I broke up with him 2 days later.